Well, it's been almost 3 years, roughly 900 development hours, and countless challenges, but here we are. One day away from releasing my most ambitious project I've ever created. This is a story of MapMe, the story of how I took a simple frustration that I had and built it out over 3 years to a game-changing tool that lets you create battle maps on your iPad. So this all started with me using a very common and popular tool amongst map makers and getting really frustrated with it because it kept crashing on me, like constantly. And after the third time I've started the same battle map, I was like, screw that, I'm gonna build my own tool. Now, given my background in iOS development, it was natural for me to I wanna create this for the iPad, right? There's Apple Pencil, you can do it on the go. It sounded like the perfect thing. So I immediately sat down and I started creating the app. You can see a lot of stuff that was already in there. It looks like it was fully fleshed out. It wasn't, it was a prototype. You could only paint terrain and place a couple objects that were hard-coded into the app. But soon I sat down and I started to look into Dungeon Draft importing and untangling the spaghetti that is the Dungeon Draft pack, so that I had access to a plethora of different graphic assets that I could use to create these battle maps in this app. And that's where I already ran into the first issue. I built the entire thing in SwiftUI initially, and while that helped me create the app much quicker because I already knew how to code in SwiftUI, I ran quickly into a very big problem, and that was basically I didn't solve the issue at all because the app started crashing a lot. So after the terrain and the object layer were implemented and the app started crashing on bigger maps because SwiftUI just wasn't able to handle all this information, essentially after roughly 250 development hours, I had to scrap everything and start from scratch. And that was when I made the move over to SpriteKit. Now, this is a little bit technical, but essentially, SpriteKit is Apple's way of making it possible to create 2D games. And so I kind of tapped into a game engine in order to tap into Metal and the GPU on the iPad, whereas SwiftUI was only using the CPU to render everything on screen. Essentially, I had to invest another 150 development hours into creating exactly what I had before, except now the app didn't crash. So essentially my motivation died down and I let the app collect dust for a couple of months there. And what got me back into it was I was going through my old projects roughly a year later, and I wanted to see what other projects I could finish. It's very hard for me to keep going on a project that felt like I was doing the same thing all over again after so much work. So on my last leg, I decided to show it to the world, and I posted it on Reddit. And the feedback I got was so overwhelming that for me, at this point, there wasn't really any reason not to pick it back up again. So that led me to create the Discord community, which helped me tremendously in picking up back that motivation. And we're now 100 people in the Discord already, and the list is growing every day. I think one of the biggest things that kept me motivated was seeing that people were actually using the app to create maps, and seeing the first maps that were created using MapMe was absolutely a game changer for me. The beta testers also provided so much valuable input, bug reports, new features. They were telling me what the biggest frustrations were that they had with the app. And suddenly this thing became much bigger than the project I initially anticipated. This entire thing became so big because there were now lots of people invested in the progress and actually putting in works. Some people actually taking time in their vacations to test the app for me, which was absolutely incredible. I'm so deeply grateful for that. So when December 2023 came around, I decided to pick it back up again, and this time put in all the effort that I had. It was a very long but a very rewarding journey. There were a lot of sleepless nights, long days, long evenings, weekends spent perfecting the app, working on it, getting it just to the point where I was able to release it with the essential features that you would need to create a map, essentially. I am so excited and humbled and so incredibly nervous about putting this out. This has been 3 years in the making, and it is an absolute passion project of mine. And to show it to the world feels like a very, very big step. So the app just got accepted by Apple. I just received the okay that I will be able to release on time, and I cannot wait to share this passion, this persistence that I've put into this app with you. And so it would absolutely mean the world to me if you headed into the description box below, checked out the app, possibly even joined the Discord. There are a lot of great people on there, and you will have direct access to me, as well as have the option to suggest new features and help me or help us develop MapMe even further. Also, if you decide to pick up the app, it is for free. You can download it for free off the App Store. I would love to see your first map. So please join the Discord and share your first map if you're up for it. I love seeing what people create with this insane project that I've created. And it really would mean the world to me if you would share your first map. So, without further ado, let's create something amazing together. Thank you for sticking around, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.